It's Monday, it's 8 p.m, and it's the Monday assessment.
Your people gather around your town when things are on the up or things are falling down. Celebrate the hard times, stay passionate through the lows, find strength in the chaos, no matter which way it goes. It's not easy being blue. Heartbreak comes in many ways, the hardest times, the darkest days, but all these things get washed away with us, with us. The highs might not come every day, but memories do, and memories stay. Enjoy that moment anyway with us, with us, with us. It's not easy being blue. It's not easy being blue.
Evening all, welcome back to the Monday Assessment by the View from the Medway Fancast, sponsored by Snodder Shoes Car Sales and Service Station and Wicked Creative, and in partnership with Sports Social Podcast Network and Her Game 2. What can we say? Saturday we packed the coach, we packed the optimism and packed a solid following up to Gresty Road to face Crewe, and somehow managed to unpack none of it in the final third. Finished Crewe 1, Gillingham 0. The winner, substitute Adrian Tebow in the 64th minute with his first League 2 goal of the season. Because if you're on a goal drought, out of form, just wait until you play Gills. In fairness, we did create some chances. Robbie McKenzie had an early look at goal, as did Ronan Hale. Sam Vokes went near post and forced a save, and Max Clark also came close, ensuring that Ian Lawler was made to look like prime Peter Schmeichel. But when the big moment came, it was Crewe. They pressed the shoot button and not the hesitate one. And somehow, after 90 minutes of effort, travel and emotional investment, as well as leaving your best hope of a goal this season on the bench, only to make a brief cameo in the second half, we are discussing a 1-0 defeat. I'm joined this evening by
birthday boy, Mr. Warren Taylor, and I am joined by debutant Mr. Brad Smallman, good friend of mine. Appreciate you coming on the show, mate.
Mate.
Warren, yeah. Outside of football, mate, before we get into it, outside of football, what has been your highlight of your week? And I can imagine.
I think the highlight of my week is I haven't been able to remember much because I've been drunk really since Friday. So, but no, it's my 60th birthday. I had a bit of a bash at the Sturley Sports and Social Club. I had brilliant attendance of people who came along to celebrate my birthday. It was just a drink, but it was good I didn't have a disco or food or anything like that. I just had people come for a drink, and it was good to just see people sitting around a table chatting and mingling and chatting. And that to me was worth anything. So for all those that came along, all you Jules fans that came along, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I really did appreciate it. So, thank you.
Yeah, we had a really good night, mate. And I ended up stumbling out because I was on these bloody AU vodka things. And I don't know what they do to people, but they didn't do anything nice to me. So, yeah, Brad, anyway, something about your week that doesn't involve football that you have enjoyed.
I took my little man to his first ever darts competition. So he took part in the youth darts competition up the Brasenose Club, which was really good for him. He loves his darts. He's always in here throwing with me and that. And it's nice to get him off that computer and let him have a go doing something he enjoys. And he lost in the final. So it was a good debut for him. He gave it a good go. And unfortunately, he come up short. But he'll go again a couple of weeks' time and have another go. That's probably been the highlight of my week, I think. A lot of things involve the little man. He means the most to me, and we do what we can for him.
There we go, yeah. And he's a great bloke, little Alfie. I love him to bits. Every time I see him, he gives me a hug and that. So, anyway, we've got a few comments that have come in already. So, we've got Andy Burns, happy birthday, Warren.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Hi, everyone. Evening all. Colin Creasy. have a great show tonight as I'm watching from Tirana in Albania.
Wow, nice.
Bloody hell.
How did you get Wi-Fi in Albania?
I don't know, mate. Probably the same place you usually get it from.
Yeah, Albania.
But come on, boys. Conversations with Gilles, Ari Ainsworth. That will go for later. So we will quickly move on. We don't have a views news this week, so we will go on to our Guess Who. So our Guess Who has played for Milton Keynes, he's played for Gillingham, he's played for Portsmouth, he's played for Millwall, and he's played for Eastbourne Borough FC. Nobody say anything just yet. And after that, we will quickly move on to the lineup. We didn't do the actual lineup this week because I felt that, you know, we're sitting in blue. If we're in blue shirts, I don't feel it's necessary. So we're glamorous to go with a back four of Romain Hutton, Armani Beckles, Travis Akamaya, Max Clark, Ethan Coleman, Robin McKenzie, Armani Little, G-Mac on the right. We had then Hale on the left and Vokes in the middle. So, Brad, I'll go with you, mate. Do you think that's how we lined up, or do you think it's a little bit more fluid, or do you think that maybe there was square pegs in round holes all over the pitch?
Yeah, a little bit, to be fair. I mean, Hale did get up with Vokes. He had that chance that the keeper got a foot to. So I just think it's hard to leave Dak out of that team. For me, I know what he's trying to do, putting Coleman in the CDM role. I get that. But leaving Dak out of that team, for me, feels like you're missing something going forward. And that's no disrespect to Robin McKenzie or Armani Little. But I just feel Dak offers something more going forward, personally.
Yeah, and Warren, yourself, like, obviously there's been a lot of talk on social media that it was Little on the left, and for me it was this formation. I don't know about yourself, but for me it was this formation.
Yeah, it was definitely a solid 4-3-3. It was a bit of a throwback to the old days, really. It's like 1978-79, when teams used to play 4-3-3 regularly. I thought it was a little bit different with 4-3-3. I thought Vokes and Howell basically played up front. McCleary played wide. And then when we was attacking, Little pushed out a bit wider. But when we were defending, it was more of a solid three in the middle. So I thought it was a fluid 4-3-3. Unfortunately, we didn't get the ball enough to Gareth McCleary, who looked a threat all throughout the game until he tied with about half hour left. But no, it was a solid. I wasn't unhappy with the starting lineup.
Yeah, I do just want to add that Stephen was meant to join us this evening, but his wife was rushed into hospital. So all the best, Stephen, and your missus. That's why there's three of us, because it was very late last minute. But yeah, going back to the game, going back to the lineup, I think it was more a case of it is how it is on the screen, but then Hale had more of a like roaming role where he would, when the game allowed it, he could then come more centrally. With G-Mac there, I don't think Little necessarily went to the side, but we will get onto that during the game. And we will get to the game straight away. So, Warren, I'll go with you on this one, mate. I want to do this halfly, to be fair. So, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, to be honest, Chris, I mean, I'd prefer to talk about the whole game rather than each half. Bearing in mind that I'd had about 20 pints the night before and 6 pints of Guinness at lunchtime before the game. It's very difficult to keep tabs on.
All right, you go for the whole game then, mate. You go for the whole game.
I'm going to go for the whole game, right? So, for me, I was bored. I was bored, right? I didn't think it was a bad performance by us. I thought we deserved something from the game. I thought our players tried, right? They put in the effort, so there was no lack of effort from any of our players. But the referee kept start the game. Every time there was a minute collision, he gave a free kick. Fair play to him. He kept his cards in his pocket throughout the whole game, and I appreciated that as part of his refereeing. But it was some of the silly free kicks he gave, and then players from both sides laying down for extended periods of time, and it just, the game as a whole never got going.
Yeah.
And as I say, I was bored by it. And no disrespect to any football fan or football manager or football player or whatever, right? But I go, when I pay me 25 quid and I pay me travel money, I expect to see a decent game of football, right? All this professionalism, or so-called, or what they call professionalism now within the game, is rubbish. It bores the life out of me. And for 25 quid, did I get entertained on Saturday? Absolutely not. Right? Now, it's easy to say when you lose 1-0, right? Oh, I got bored, blah, blah, blah. Here goes Warren on a rant again. But for me, if we win 1-0, I'm happy as a sandboy in that type of game. But I still go away with a feeling that I've been cheated out of a few quid. If we lose, it makes the stop-start and the professionalism and the sitting around and waiting for the trainer to come on before they turn him away, and he's had his 2.5 minutes, and managers can chat to players, and it just bores me.
Yeah.
And I just felt that we played all right. We had some good moves. We had one lapse of concentration, which led to their goal. Couple of errors. In front of goal, was there enough composure? No. Did we get the ball to GMAC quickly enough? No. Did we give him enough ball? No. Because when he was running at the Crewe defence, they were scared.
Yeah.
But
I agree with that.
Definitely.
I can't tell you anyone who's had a bad game on Saturday. I don't think anyone had a bad game. I just don't think anyone had a good one.
Yeah.
Apart from the only time that I got off me big fat ass in anticipation of anything was when Gareth McCleary got the ball.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I mean, I just didn't see any pattern from either team. I didn't see any endeavour. I didn't see anyone gamble. I didn't see anyone take a risk. I didn't see anyone try and do something that was totally different to what had been going on. I mean, it just, as I say, the game bored me.
I agree with you on certain aspects, Warren. I do to a degree where, you know, like, apart from Gareth McCleary, yeah, he got me off my seat. He off my armchair because I wasn't at the game, but I watched it on TV live. I don't think there was anything there. But Brad, I'll come to you, mate. And your thoughts on the game, and also, do you think it's quite telling that we are now essentially relying on a 38, 39-year-old to be like the liveliest party in the team?
Yeah, I sort of half agree with what Warren's saying, to the point of there was, other than really Gareth McCleary on that side, not a lot really got you excited. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, what's sort of doing it for me a little bit is we got this Antwi who started 18 straight games for Newport. I'm not saying Newport are nothing special, but he looks good. Do you know what I mean? And I know he plays in Dak's role, but I don't see why he can't be pushed out to the left. Do you know what I mean? With McCleary the other side, it's, for me, I just feel like Ethan Coleman passes the ball around left, right, and that's good. But it's the movement. Either than like you say, McCleary and maybe Howe as well. You've got to move in that side of things. Do you know what I mean? You can't just keep passing the ball left, right, and then when it gets to your left back or your right back, just boot it and chase it. I know it's League Two football. I do understand where people are coming from. But before we come on air, me and Warren were talking. We was both saying, when we do move the ball, like the previous home games we've been to, when we do move the ball 2-3 players and we're into the final third, we make things happen. It's the punting the ball up the field. I just feel like it comes straight back at us.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I felt like that Saturday as well. Watching it Saturday, I just felt like Clark with the left, Hutton with the right. A lot of the balls just going down the wing and either going out for throw-ins or coming straight back at us.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I'd like to see this Antwi play. Really, we signed him, and unfortunately, Gareth's come out and said that he won't play him and Dak, which I think he's might have regretted saying because he put the pair of them on the bench. So he said I won't play him because it's Dak's position, but he's going to put a pair of them on the bench. So I think that's a bit of a silly thing to do, really, to say that and then not play either of them. For me, going forward.
Yeah, no, yeah, and we will go into that later on. But yeah, I'll stick with you. And Brad, I can't, you know, when you come away from a game and you just think to yourself, we tried, we really did try. We had 5 or 6 opportunities. You know, these things happen sometimes. You know, you do that and then they go along and from a set piece that the goalkeeper's put in, we then concede a goal. Is there a fundamental issue with us as a squad, or do you think that it is just one of them things that has happened on Saturday? It's, you know, move on. Let's just go on to the next game. Because for me, mate, I'm at the point now where I'm watching games from a different aspect. I'm watching them like, you know, I was on the huddle on Friday. I thought, you know, always not lost. I think still top 10 could be achievable. I'm not at panic stations, but do you think, Brad, that maybe them panic stations have been lost in people's heads because we're now at the point where we're like, season's over, like it's just enjoying it for what it is rather than what it should be?
Yeah, I think some people are thinking season's over, mid-table, that's where we're going to end up, promotion's gone. But the problem is after every game and the defeats and the draws, people are saying the same thing. We need the players need to sort of be clinical with their chances. It's no good having 20 shots if you don't stick the ball in the goal. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like if I watched Gillingham and they had one shot and won 1-0, I'd be more happy that we took the 3 points than a team to have 20 shots, 7 on target and not score. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The old cliche is if you don't shoot, you don't score. And the stats say it of obviously 20 shots, 4 on target. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter. You've got to be clinical in them moments to win football matches.
Yeah.
And it sounds horrible because I've got the respect for the club. I've supported the club since I was 8. I do love the club. But then there's people now talking about getting rid of everyone, buy a 2 or 3 and starting all over again. I just don't think that's going to work. I just think, I know it sounds a bit cliche, but since Gareth's heart operation, it's gone downhill since then. And we've never sort of rekindled or come back from where we were at the start of the season. But a season's played over a lot of games. Do you know what I mean? A season's played over, 40 odd games in our league. Do you know what I mean? You can't be good for the first quarter of the season. It's not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and the longevity is a thing. And I will touch with you, Warren, on what Brad's just said, because I think we had this conversation a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday, about Gareth. And this isn't me poo-pooing Gareth. I think that Gareth is still the right man for the job. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know, we lost against Harrogate on the 27th of September. He then went off for his heart operation, and we thought, you know, obviously we kind of expected a little bit of a dip after that, I guess. But when he come back and it's not really changed. Warren, do you think that potentially him going for surgery has affected his mindset a little bit, or potentially he needed more of a rest and maybe until the end of the season? Or because for me, like some of the things he comes out with in the press at the moment are quite confusing and quite generic on a week-to-week basis. Also, with the formation stuff is quite confusing. So, Warren, do you think that he's back to his best, or do you think that he should have been given a little bit longer?
I definitely think he should have been given a bit longer. I have absolutely no doubt for that. But I think that the time that he was away, I don't think the club properly planned for his absence. And they obviously didn't plan for a longer absence than what it actually was, because otherwise we'd have given him a bit more time. I think as a football manager, you've got to be lucky.
Yeah.
In the first 20-odd games of his tenure, he got lucky. Now the luck's run out a little bit. I tend to think football goes in cycles. I mean, at the start of the season, before the Harrogate game, that goal that Crewe scored, that ball wouldn't have gone straight to their bloke on the edge of the box to put it in. It wouldn't have happened. Right? But Saturday, when we're down and we're struggling, it did happen. I just think that sometimes supporters' expectations exceed players' ability, and the fact that it's a sport. You have winners and losers. Sometimes you might get a draw. And I think as football fans, or the new age fan, as I like to call them, they can't see they can't see that it is a sport. It's a game. It's meant to be enjoyable. It's a day out with your mates. And it's something that you put on Twitter today, I think, Chris, about football isn't just about the importance of the players or the manager or the chairman or whatever, but the importance is the people that actually go every week.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, unfortunately, I was talking at the weekend about a time when Tony Pulis was manager, and he was talking in the social club. Rainer Mark Social Club at Player of the Year's do. And there'd been an argument with him and Scally, and the players literally turned up for 20 minutes. Right? It was a bit embarrassing. And Tony Pulis got up and stood and made a speech, and it's always resonated with me really well. And his speech was, you can have the best toilets, you can have the best catering facilities, you can have all sorts of bars and fancy, you can have conference rooms, you can have ballrooms, you can have whatever. But if the product isn't out there on the pitch that's entertaining or winning, then the toilets don't get used. The refreshment huts don't get used. The ballroom doesn't get used. The conference facilities don't get used. All that comes with a winning team.
Yep.
Right? And for me, I think the major issue we have at a football club, and I'd really like to go behind the scenes to see what happens between Ainsworth and Hess, and the way our head of recruitment recruits, because I just can't see the point in the Antwi signing. I don't get it. Right? Not because I don't think he's a good player or anything, but I just don't get it in this team where he fits. In the formation that Gareth plays. In any of the formation Gareth plays.
But then, Warren, do you not think that maybe it is a case that it could be the case? I'm not saying it is, but it could be the case that we've got him in because, he's out of contract in the summer. He was out of contract in the summer at Newport, and other teams would have been in for him. So we've got him in early, purely so that other teams couldn't get him. My caveat with that would be, and I've said it, there you go, caveat. My caveat would be we could have signed him on a pre-contract deal so that he would have come in the summer and stayed at Newport, or we could have brought him and then loaned him back. There's multiple variables there, but for me, I agree with you, mate. I don't see if you're going to buy a player that's meant to be this good, why you're then leaving him on the bench in any kind of position. So,
Yeah, I look at it and I think, why is Gillingham Football Club signed Cameron Antwi? Right, we all know he's a decent player at this level, right? And we know that he scores goals from midfield. We know that from reports from Newport, he can be lazy. So where does he fit in a Gareth Ainsworth team?
Well, if I knew that, mate, I'd be the manager of the team myself. Do you know what I mean? But
because I don't see it. I really don't see it. Right, and I don't see the correlation between manager and head of recruitment with what we're signing at the moment, because it all seems a bit disjointed.
Yeah.
If we're going to play one up front down the middle, why did we sign a
Ronan Hale?
A player left?
Yeah.
Right. We're looking at Gareth saying maybe he'll keep most of the squad together at the end of the season. But why? What player has proved that he can get promotion out of this division? What player has proved that he's got the mental strength, right, to go on a 46-game haul of a season, going up and down the country with lots of travelling?
Yeah.
And it takes a special kind of mental strength.
Yeah.
And I just don't see where that part is going. The football club's going in a great direction where we're getting facilities, we're getting everything. But what's missing is what's on the park. I mean, you look at the stats on Saturday, you take them every week.
Yeah.
Right? Apart from the top one where it says Crewe 1, Gillingham 0.
Yeah. Yep.
But at some point, we've got to look at what is the fundamental reason why we went on a 21-game run of being unbeaten, and now we've gone on this horrendous run.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
to be honest, Chris, I think it could be my fault because last 7 games we've won 3, lost 4, and I've been to the 4 that we lost on, and I've not been to any of the ones we've won.
It. Warren's not going to any more games this season, and we might get promoted. How about that? Okay, do you know what? I would put money on it that would probably happen if you didn't go, because you would always be the one that turns around and goes, "Cough up, then, boy."
Yeah,
so
I just think that I'm not going to throw any accusations at players. I'm not going to call players names. I'm not going to say you're not doing this, you're not doing that. You should be doing this, you should be doing that, because that's wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't believe in having a go at players before or during a game, because that's wrong. Right? I believe in constructive criticism.
Yeah, I do.
In a show like this, where you can maybe suggest what went wrong or what went right. But on Saturday, there wasn't that much that could go right or wrong, apart from the one instant when we fell asleep and they scored.
Yeah.
The rest of the game, we was on it. But for 20 seconds, we fell asleep and we got punished. And because of the way we play, and you can look at formation, you can look at the substitutions that looked a bit confusing to me. I just didn't feel like we was ever going to score Saturday. And I don't think it's Gareth's fault. I just think that sometimes as a manager, you got to have a bit of luck. I think there should be a little bit more transparency from within the club about what Hassan Tara and Gareth are doing with regarding building this squad that is our 2-year plan. I'd like to know the 2-year plan. I'd like to see it written out in full detail. But I'm not going to have a go at the players for lack of effort, because I have done for the last 2 years when I think certain players have down tools at certain times for certain managers. And I don't think that is happening. But when you look at the squad on a Saturday, from week to week to week, it just keeps changing and formations keep changing. I just think everything's a little bit confusing at the moment.
This is the thing, mate, isn't it? There's no consistency within the squad. Obviously, we chop and change formations within chop and change players. So we will, before we get on to the takeaways, there is a comment from Andy. Panel, isn't this a squad in transition? Do you not look at the squad a couple of weeks ago saying Mo should go? I didn't think Mo should go. I think this is not on YouTube because you weren't on the show. I think we come up with, out of the 16, there was about seven or eight that I think that probably should go. The rest I'm undecided about, Andy. So, it is a transition, mate, but it is what it is at the moment, and we can only talk about what we see, can't we? So I'll hand over to Warren. Warren, we probably will just scrap Daki and Answe out of that because I think we've basically spoke about them. So the Achilles heel and fan reaction, mate.
Right, so I've forgotten all about what Achilles heel is. This is what happens when you turn 60.
Scoring.
Right. But the Achilles heel is, for me, how do we go from the months of August and September, right, and we look prime candidates for promotion, and even it makes me excited, right, to a team which it's quite transparent that we're not going to go up this year. We're not going to get in the playoffs in February. So I'd like to ask you, Chris, right? It's happened for the last 3 years. It's happened in history, right? That we've always started well. We've always been a club that started well and then fallen off. And I can go through multiple seasons where this has happened, going back to when I first started going in 73, 74. Why do you think that we've suffered the same problem for the last 3 seasons where we've started well, gone on a run, we've got manager of the month awards galore for August and September, and then from October to February, it's died off?
I mean, most probably won't like what I'm going to say, mate. And I think the common denominator here is the majority of the squad. I don't think that they're mentally strong enough. They've got previous incumbent sacks, left, right, and centre. If you look back 3 seasons ago, this squad, the starting 11 at least, doesn't really change from what was there under Harris, what was there under Bonner, which would probably give you a good starting point as to why we haven't really kicked on. I don't mean it horribly. They're probably nice people. They are. Some of them are nice people, but I just don't think that a lot of them are good enough to be a League Two collective. By that I mean, you could have great individual players. I don't think we've got that. I think we've got some very good individual players, but I don't think we've got players that are very good as a collective. So yeah, look back at Harris, look back at Bonner, look back at when Coleman was here, and now look at Ainsworth. Like the common denominator there, mate, is the squad. And until that gets sorted out, I don't think that it will get sorted out.
Yeah, so I'll come to you, Brad, right? And you said earlier you've been going since you was 8. What do you think is the ingredients that are missing from this squad?
Well, me personally, I think confidence levels start well, and then when things start going wrong, everything turns quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like the negativity on social media I see daily about players, about overweight, about just shouldn't play football, shouldn't play in this club. I feel like the person, like people take football personally, and I see a lot of hate dished out in the last 2 years towards players. Look, it's personal. It's not about football. It starts getting personal. So for me, I think confidence can be a slight issue, but I just think belief. I just feel like some of these boys don't believe that they can be as good as what they are. Do you know what I mean? I know it's easy to sit here and say, oh, you believe in yourself and like mentally you should be stronger and the rest of it with certain things. But I just feel like if someone tells you every day of your life you're no good, it gets to a point you start believing you're no good. So I feel like, I don't know, I know they're paid good money and the rest of it, I do understand that, but I just feel like when someone's negative on you constantly, I know it's your job, I know it's what you get paid to do, but if someone's negative on you constantly, I feel like eventually you start believing you're negative. And when your confidence is low in anything you do, it's hard to come back from sometimes, I believe. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you, and I'd like to take the point of social media, right? Now, when I first started going to the Gills, for many years there was no such thing as social media. There was no fan outburst in local newspapers or whatever. So I'd like to ask you, Chris, because you're very big on social media, right? What negative vibes do you think the players get from poor social media?
To be fair, mate, there is a fine line, isn't there, between, you're a professional, you're media trained, you're this, that, and the other. There is a fine line, and I will 100% admit that I was quite critical of Jack Nolan last season. I'll hold my hands up to that, and I'll say, I thought he was a little bit overweight. I'll hold my hands up and admit that, and I think everyone that watches this show has said that, but there's ways of doing it. I didn't call him fat. I didn't call him this, that, and the other. I literally said, I think he's a little bit a bit heavy, shall we say. The problem is nowadays, mate, they are professionals. They are media trained, and they should be able to handle a bit of the brunt from fans when they're not playing very well.
I agree with that, but when things start getting personal, Chris, like he was getting messages, like hate messages. I spoke to Jack on a personal level. Before he left the club.
Yeah.
I spoke to him like literally round by the club. I was walking the dog and I bumped into Jack. We was having a chat and he just said the stuff that's been said about him and other things is not just football related. It got nasty. It got vile.
Yeah.
And that's why he told me straight, I want to go back north. I don't want to be here no more. I've had enough.
I agree, Brad, and I totally agree with that. That's horrible, right? You can only judge a player on what they do on the field. You can't judge them on their personal life. I did say I thought that he was a bit heavy. Pretty much all I said, and I didn't rate him. It's as simple as that, right? But when you've got people going into his personal life, and there's a mark, isn't there? There's a mark with everything. Like, you run a podcast, or myself, or German Gills, or Gills in the Blood, or ME7, right? There is a line, right? People can criticize you for what you do as a podcast, right? When they cross that line and criticize you as a person, the same as a football player, that is a line crossed, and they shouldn't be doing that. It works the same both ways. The problem is we don't have a job. We do these podcasts because we're trying to be balanced about everything. We're trying to sit there and we're trying to say, this player wasn't good that week, or that player wasn't good that week, or we say, I don't think he's that good, he shouldn't be in the squad, or we then say we think he has done well another week. Because I've done it this season. I was a real bad critic of Jake Turner. You're a goalkeeper yourself, Brad. Big critic of him. But then when he came in when Glenn was injured, I'd give him praise and give him man of the match when I thought he deserved it. Yeah, going personal with things is just not on for me. But I've lost myself now because I'm just going on.
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, for me, from someone who's a lot older, right? I see some of the rubbish on social media where players have been called out, they've been called names, they've been told they're useless. What what do people actually get out of saying this stuff on social media? Because I don't understand it. I don't get it.
No.
Basically, people sit there, drink their 6 pints, and think they can do what some of them players do week in, week out. Not being rude, some of these fans that talk this sort of rubbish couldn't lay someone's boots. They said back in the day, I could play for this team, I played for Chatham, I could do this. But yeah, why aren't you doing it now then? Something went wrong for you not to be doing it. Do you know what I mean? And it's the way people talk about a professional football player that thinks they're better. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, come on, he's not there through chance of luck. There must have been a reason they play for a League Two team professionally.
Yeah, and I agree with that as well, Brad. Because like, okay, I can't do it anymore. I'm nearly 40 years old, but I was quite good back in the day, as you were as a goalkeeper back. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that we were in any kind of position to say that fans are wrong, but I think that you can kind of sit there and be like, it ain't easy playing football. And a lot of these fans, I mean, some of these fans, and I mean no disrespect, they're all entitled to their opinion, but at the same time, when you're sitting there and turning around and going, oh, that's it, I'm not renewing my season ticket next season. All right, mate, off you pop. You don't have to announce it like you're going to the fucking toilet. Like, do you know what I mean? Don't then. Like, oh, I'm not renewing. Oh, that's it, we played bad. I'm not renewing my season ticket. All right. Don't have to announce it like you're going to the toilet, mate. Off you pop. All right. But to sit there and criticise these players like on a personal level, sit there, you can criticise this collective. I totally agree, because I don't think that this collective are good enough. I don't think there are some players that are good enough. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, he's shit. Yes, I did it to Jake Turner earlier on in the season because I don't rate him. I should have worded it a different way, but I don't think I worded it the correct way. But at the same time, you don't sit there when this team are trying to do something for us. So we're sitting there and saying, oh, okay, well, we want to finish in 10th, but we're now in 14th. Right? All we're going to do is we're going to criticise every result that we have. Even if we win, fans are still going to criticise it. But then we're going to moan when we don't finish in 10th. How does that make sense?
Right, so I'll put it another way, Chris. So after last home game against Tranmere, I wasn't at the game, didn't see the game. All I've seen is goals. I got quite annoyed, and I did, Chris, about people having a go and having a dig and whatever, when we actually won a game of football.
Yeah.
What do people want from the game?
Right.
Just please explain to me, right? Do you want an entertaining game and we lose 5-4, or do you want us to win 1-0?
I'll take the 1-0. I generally would.
And I think Brad will probably back me up on this. I think we were quite good against Tranmere. I think the thing that annoyed me against Tranmere, and it's kind of PTSD back to when we played Barrow at home, is we went up, they then scored, and then we sat back. I think that's kind of the PTSD side of it. And I think going back to fans in general, I think this kind of has been going on, as you have alluded to, Warren, across a couple of seasons now, a few seasons where, we start off well and then we slip away. People are getting pissed off with it. I appreciate that. But at the same time, going back to Tranmere, we weren't terrible. I think it was that last probably 20 minutes where we sat back and invited the pressure. People were like, wait a minute, this game is for the taking. We could have scored 3, 4 or 5. And we sat back.
Yeah, sat back. And this goes to what I said at the beginning of the show when I was talking about the game, about trying to bring this professionalism. We're going to manage the game, it's game management and all this rubbish, right? Which makes the game dead boring, right? When teams go ahead now, they then stand off. Crewe did it on Saturday. As soon as they got their goal, they weren't interested. Right? Did they have any interest in playing after that? They took the young kiddie off who had his socks rolled down his ankles.
O'Reilly, I think it was.
Right?
O'Reilly.
Yeah, I mean, he was their best player.
I think he was good. Yeah, I really think he was really good.
Right, he was their best player. They took him off. Right, they held the ball for throw-ins forever. Free kicks. The players went down, and it was professionalism. They packed their defence. They didn't have any intent on attack, and football's boring because of it.
Yeah,
right. And I think that at that stage of the game, if Crewe had gone for it, they could have gone and scored 2 or 3.
Yeah,
right.
Potentially.
Because we was on the back foot then. We just lost ourselves. The subs were, say, confusing to say the least. Bringing on Dak and Antwi, which we go on to, right? We brought on Dak and Antwi, and the manager had said in that week they can't play together.
Yeah.
Right. And then we bring them both on. We've got 2 centre halves on the bench, and we've got players that can play in Coleman and McKenzie at centre half, should there be any injuries. We're crying out for a bit more pace in the side. So what's happened to Aaron Rowe? Right? Love him or hate him. Right? He's very much like Marmite to me. You either love him or you hate him. Right?
I think going forward, he's got
3 times as well.
Right. But he adds a bit of pace. We had no real pace. So we had Antwi and Dak come on, who's not got a lot of pace. Right? We took McCleary off.
Antwi's got a lot of pace. I think Antwi's got pace, mate, but I just think at the moment we don't necessarily sit in the right positions because he's had 8 minutes against Bromley and he's literally had 10 minutes against bloody Crewe. So we've not seen him.
He come on against Tranmere as well for about last 10, 12 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't, when we brought the subs on, I just didn't see where we fitted in. I mean, I'm not a football manager, and although I've seen thousands of games of football, I just didn't see anything which made sense, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, if Gareth was to have a change of heart and play both Dak and Antwi, because I think everybody wants Dak in their team, what formation would you line up with the 2 of them in the team? And I'll go to you, Brad.
I think the only way you do that is you've got to play either Andrews and Hale up top together with Dak in the 10 and then Antwi out to the left. But then if you play him in like 2 middle positions, you lose him where you're going left and right. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. The only way you could probably do it is if you play one up front, but I don't think one up front works. You can't put Hale up front on his own unless you keep the ball on the floor, which we don't do on a regular occurrence. We do it in occasions, and when we do it to a level, we do sometimes make good plays and score goals from it, but we seem to play off a big man all the time, and you've got to win your second balls. If you're just punting the ball up to Andrews, who does work like a workhorse, I know that not everyone likes him and not everyone supports him at all and says he ain't good enough and he's not, but I think he works his arse off, but I just think it hasn't fallen for him, or when it has fallen for him, the confidence is so low, he's missed, do you know what I mean? And it's not making excuses for him because it's hard, do you know what I mean? Everyone thinks scoring goals is an easy part of football, but unfortunately sometimes it's not. But it's so hard to what formation can you play? Do you do 3 at the back? But then I've never been a fan of 3 at the back because you play wing backs. Do you play Hutton right wing back and play that Antwi left wing back? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It is hard. I don't think I could answer it to a point. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it could happily work.
Chris?
No.
Don't know, mate. I think it could work if we played Dak at a 10 and then maybe Antwi alongside a little Antwi alongside a McKenzie. I think that could probably work because it then gives you the pace in the middle. I know he's said that he can play in that position. He's not necessarily an out and out 10. I think it could probably work if we played there, because I do feel that we're lacking pace in the middle, and we're not getting pace in the middle at the moment. So for me, the common sense side of me, even though I don't have much of it, would be to play Little or Mackenzie alongside Answe. That then gives you the pace in the centre too. If you're playing Daki at the 10, it probably then takes away, and Coleman can possibly not be at CDM, even though I think he's a very good player. It's a mind fuck at the moment. But
You
yeah,
play
for me,
up front though, Chris. If you play Daki in the 10, like I said, would you play 2 up front with him?
you could still play that diamond though, couldn't you? You
Yeah.
could still play Andrews and Hale, or Hale and Vokes, and then play Daki in at the 10, and then have your diamond. But then obviously you then lose width. So I
That's
don't
why
know
I'm struggling to fit it in.
exactly. So
Yeah, I'll be honest. I cannot see us being able to fit in Antwi and Dak in the same side. I really can't. Unless you're playing the Isle of Wight 4th 11 reserves. Right?
I like the Isle of Wight. It's probably one of my favourite holiday destinations.
Yeah,
I like it when you stay there permanently, Chris.
Huh? Oh, mate, honestly, if I could, I would. If I had
Yeah.
the money, I would literally live on the Isle of Wight my whole
Yeah.
life and literally just get a fire stick.
I'd sink every ship that came over. So, I'll go on to the last thing. I think we've hit on it already with the socials. What do you go to football for, Chris?
I go there to meet mates. I go there to have a laugh. I go there to watch the football. Sometimes it's diabolical. Sometimes it's very good. That away days are amazing. I love going away, and the journey's not so much, because we've got a really good big one coming up against Barrow, and Brad's going to be in my car. But yeah, no, I just love going, to watch football. We're not expecting to win every week. It's nice when we do. The community side of it is amazing. Seeing friends, and meeting new people that you've either met before and not said hello to, or meeting new people.
Yeah, and I get that. So I'll ask you another question. Why do you get so upset when we lose?
Because I'm passionate about it. Have I really got that upset lately when we've lost?
Yeah, I think you have at times. I think at times you've gone a bit OTT.
Yeah.
Right. And don't get. I'm not just having a go at you, Chris. I've done the same. Right.
Yeah.
Last week after the Bromley game,
We all have.
I was well cheesed off. Right, when I came on here, right, I was well cheesed off with the performance of the Bromley game. Right.
I think I've kind of just learnt now. To take it as an individual game, and then assess it as a whole once you've calmed down. I used to, don't get me wrong, and when we started this, I used to get pissed off. I used to get pissed off earlier in this season, but I've just got to the point now where I sit there and think about it before I then speak about it. So other than Notts County the other night.
So Brad, why do you go to football?
I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love it. Do you know what I mean? I love spending time with my family, but before I had my boy and my missus, I used to go on my own and go with my mates. Do you know what I mean? Just love it. And I won't sit here and say it's just the social side of it, because it's not. To me, I want to win. Do you know what I mean? I'm not expecting to win every week, but as a fan, I want to win. That's why I go to football. I want to see us win. I want to see us push on. But yeah, I do like the social side of it, with the friends, the family, and meeting up with people. And for me, it's my release after a week of work. Do you know what I mean? I have a long, stressful week at work. It is what it is. And then Saturdays...
Release.
Release, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't get annoyed when we lose, because I don't want to lose. Do you know what I mean? I play darts. I like to win at that. I don't like losing. And then people say they like losing. I don't believe them. You got to learn to lose and take it on the chin when you lose and accept losing, because that's part of life. But people that say they're okay with losing, I don't believe them. No one's okay with losing.
I hate losing.
I agree. I hate losing.
Mm.
I am miserable, right?
All the time.
I'm
Even when you win.
What's it ever, right? When we lose, right? For the whole week, I'm miserable. I get that, right? But I still don't think it allows me to go on social media and start banging off questions at certain players that I think is far too personal.
Yeah.
Right. We all want, for me, I want players to be on social media. Right. I want interaction with fans, but you're never going to get it. All the while, some supporters are quite happy to have quite personal digs at times.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quite lucky. I do speak to a fair number of players socially. I won't name names, but I do speak to 3 or 4 of them socially. And after the abuse one of them got 3 or 4 weeks ago, I actually messaged him and to check on him to make sure he was okay, because some of the stuff that was being said about him was disgraceful. I'm not going to name names because I won't do that to him. And he spoke back to me in confidence, and he said he's fine. He's just got to deal with it. It's part of football, and he understands that he's going to get criticised.
Well, why should it be?
It shouldn't be, no.
Right? When we're all in our jobs, in our day jobs, and we get abuse from a member of the public, if you're in a customer service role, right? Like me, I mean, I get called a C word at least 4 to 5 times.
Well, they ain't wrong, are they, mate?
That's fair enough, but you get it, right? It's personal abuse.
Yeah.
And mine's face to face. It's a bit like a player when they're out on the pitch and they've got someone screaming from the stands, you're whatever. Now, I know how that feels. And it is downright disgusting. And when you can't do anything about it, right? When you can't say anything, you can't give it back, you can't do whatever.
But at the end of the day, they're only human. Everyone's got a breaking point.
It starts to destroy you from the inside out.
It does, yeah.
Right? And it annoys me when I see supporters who think that they can hide behind an assumed name on social media, right? My name's out there. Whatever I say is out there. I don't hide behind anything. I don't hide behind any labels of anything else. My name's out there. So people know exactly what I'm saying. I can't lie about it.
No.
I can't say that wasn't me or my account was hacked, because it's my account.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's got to stop at some point.
Yeah. Like I was just saying,
right.
Everyone's got a breaking point. We're all human beings. Do you know what I mean?
I go to football to meet up with mates, so I go up to football, have a drink. I think what you said earlier about you go to football for that release, right? And I'm the same. I go to football for that release and always have done, right? It's been my time throughout my life that I can get away from it. But I just think that as football fans, we need to take a little bit of a rain check sometimes. Instead of going on to social media, it used to go home and kick the cat. But sorry for all you animal lovers out there. But you get rid of it in the pub. You'd have a discussion in the pub with your mates.
Yeah.
You'd let it all out, and then you'd go home and it was forgotten until the next game.
Yeah.
But people seem to be going on and on and on for the whole 7 days before the next game. And
I think we kind of have a little bit of a advantageous thing, I guess, where we do these shows on a Monday and we can park it. Obviously, not everyone gets that, so I think that we can park it. We can say, yeah, we've sorted that out. We're promote on a Tuesday, and then that's it until a Friday or Saturday. I don't think some fans get that, but I'm trying to work out what Richard's asking me to talk about his question. I can't seem to find his question.
I think getting back to what Warren said as well is you can judge people on their footballing abilities. Like, say, for instance, a striker 5 yards out, open goal, he should have scored that. Yeah, you can judge him on that. Yeah, that wasn't good enough. He should have scored. But to then start going into personal, saying someone's useless and saying that they shouldn't even be a professional footballer, when you don't realise what they go through, like on a long-term basis. Do you know what I mean? That they could have long-term injuries, that they just get back to fitness and then bang, they hit with a setback. And the confidence must be shot to pieces when people are crucifying you for missing an open goal, but not just crucifying you once, through the entire season and not letting it go.
Over one situational play in a game of football.
One or two situations. That's what I mean. Too much.
Yeah.
Well, cheers, guys. I think you've been really good, really honest and upfront with me, with your answers. Unfortunately, there was no news really this week to talk about emanating from the club, so we've had to sort of do an afterburner on the Crewe game. So,
yeah,
thank you very much. Thanks for your honest reaction. With three of us, we've still managed to make the program.
No, over an hour. We need to hurry on then.
and I was expecting to be on here for 40 minutes, to be honest. But thank you very much. I'll hand you back over.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no, we haven't finished yet. We've still got to go back to our guess who. So this player has played for Milton Keynes Dons. He's played for Millwall. He's played for Gillingham. He's played for Portsmouth. He's played for Eastbourne Borough. Do either of you have any idea who it is? Because I do have one person in the comments. Why do my comments keep disappearing? Hold on. Trying to find it. Glenn, where are you? Glenn did say who it was. So before I try and find Glenn's comment, any of you got any idea?
No.
Okay. Brad?
I'm going to take a wild guess. And I'm trying to remember him. I think he played left back for us. I think his first name's Joe. I'm trying to picture him. No.
You ain't going to get it.
No,
it's gone.
You ain't getting that one. So Glenn was right, and it was Sean Williams. So well done to Glenn. So we will, before we leave, we will quickly rush through our man of the matches. And Brad's gone for Travis Akamea.
It was a bit. It was two for me. I was struggling between him and Ethan. The thing, I think Ethan controlled the game very well, but Travis made what done it for me was Travis made a mistake. I think it was the back end of the first half, and the way he recovered it for me, it just showed that he worked his hard to get there, and I thought he was fairly solid at the back for the weekend, personally.
Yeah. Warren, your reasons as to why?
I didn't go for Akamea.
Did you not?
No.
I swear you did. You messaged me saying Akamea.
McCleary.
All right, McCleary. All right, then. All right, there you go. Tell me about McCleary then. You could.
He was the only one who looked like he was going to do anything on the offensive. I thought he was a constant threat until he ran out of steam after an hour. But we just didn't get the ball enough to him.
Yeah.
And if we'd have got a lot more ball to him, I think he'd have been able to create different situations where maybe we could have scored a bit more. I thought him and Hutton played quite well down at right hand side. It was definitely our stronger side.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was. And I've gone for Travis purely because I just think that the first half, and other than the goal, I just think that he was really solid. Both of them at centre back were solid. Him and Omar Beckles were pretty solid. But I think for a young lad, the last 2 or 3 games that he's played for us, he's just looked really like a, dare I say, better option than Sam Gale. I I don't think I'd say that, but on that par for me. So yeah, that's that one. So we will move on to tomorrow night's game. And we are playing Chesterfield, and they've lost one, drawn, and we've won, lost, one, loss. So, Brad, I'll go with you, mate, and your hopes and aspirations for tomorrow evening.
I think there will be goals. I think we're going to nick it 2-1 tomorrow.
Yep. Warren, your thoughts on tomorrow night? Warren just
Brad.
Yes.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to change your mind.
Right.
I'm going.
You're going to the game. All right,
Yeah.
so we're losing, mate. We're losing.
I'll go 0-0.
Or he can't quite bring himself to do it. Warren, we'll go with you, mate, quickly.
I reckon we'll win.
You're winding me up. I'm going back to 2-1. I'm going with 2-1. I'm sticking with me 2-1.
Yeah, beat the newbie, eh? Yeah, I actually think we're going to win tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just if Crewe, I never get us to win it. I never take us to win at Crewe because we never win at Crewe. I've been about 14 times and seen it's win once, so I never think Crewe's a happy hunting ground for us. Chesterfield, on the other end, I know it's sort of gate and now the new ground. I just think that we're going to nick a 1-0 win tomorrow. Andrews, first minute, and then we're going to hang on for 89.
I'd love that. That'd be brilliant.
Why not? Why not? A win's a win, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, what was it, a draw last time we played them? Elliot Nevitt actually scored a goal last season when we played them away. So, yeah, I think personally, I would have taken 4 points out of the last two games, the first game being Crewe, and then 3 points maybe them, or 3 points the other way, and then 1 point against Chesterfield. So I think definitely a win is a must if we're to try and keep alive this top 10 hope, because then we've got afterwards, we've got Oldham at the weekend at home. We've then got Barrow and then Cambridge, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, Cambridge.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we need to start winning games, because we can all sit there and say we think we're going to finish in the top half, but if we're not winning games that we should be winning, I'm not saying that we should have been winning against Crewe, or Chesterfield, but we need to stop. We need to get points against these teams. We can't be a team that sits there and just goes, oh, they're above us, so we just rein it in a little bit. We don't really give a shit. We need to start picking up points against these kind of teams, because we are on I wouldn't say a slippery slope to relegation, because that's wild. We're nowhere near that, but we are heading for the position we are now in. Like, we need to start pushing on. We've got a game in hand. We can push on a little bit. So yeah. Anything else on the game on tomorrow? Because we will be doing a show on Wednesday about this game as well. So,
by the way, Chris, before Cambridge, we got Accrington at home before Cambridge.
Have we?
Yeah. On the 6th.
Again.
And then it's MK Dons after Cambridge, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just know that I'm going. I just know that. I'm going to Barrow and Cambridge. So.
But no, tomorrow's a free hit. Anyone who thinks that we're going to finish in the top 10 is deluded.
Me.
Were you deluded?
I still think we're going to finish in the top 10.
Right. Just be a realist.
Yep.
Right. This team,
we're finished 12th.
At this moment in time, right, is not good enough to finish in the top 10. Right? They should be good enough. They should be finishing in the top 10. In fact, they should be finishing in the top 5. But they're not, for whatever reasons.
But should they be, though? Should they? But this is a question that I'd have to you then, Warren. Should they be finishing in the top 5, or are we overhyping how good they actually are?
I think this squad is good enough to finish in the top 5. Right? When you look back to the Chesterfield home game, right, and the performance we put on that night, and it was a real good game of football. It was the last time I actually got entertained at a Gills game this season, right? I actually think that we can play. I think we can play an open, expensive type of game. But for some reason, we just... Football managers as a whole now go out not to lose.
Yeah.
And they're not brave enough to go out to win a game.
Or if they go out to win a game, it's lucky.
Because they're scared that if results go against them, right, they get the gooner. I'll go back to Justin Edinburgh when he came to Gillingham, was playing a lovely brand of football, right? It was successful and whatever. And then we played Wigan on a Monday night on telly. We was 2-0 up and we lost 3-2, right? And after that, he went ultra defensive. Now, it was just that Wigan were better than us on the night. If he'd have continued with that brand of football, we'd have got promoted that year.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He changed because he was too scared to lose games.
I feel like we've seen it in spells this season. I mean, Harrogate away was fantastic. I was there. First half, we put it on them. And then second half, we turned it up a notch. We beat them 3-0. We scored and kept going instead of scoring and sitting back.
Yeah, I just think we've got to be brave. If you're going to look at the top 10 finish, Chris, right? So I'll throw it back at you. If you think we're going to finish in the top 10, right, or should finish in the top 10, right, do you think that with the tactics that we currently employ, we'd do that?
I think if we play as we did on Saturday, I think that we'll probably beat more teams than we don't. The problem with that is, the consistency that goes along with that. We can have a bad game playing that. We can have a good game playing that. I don't think that we. I think we can. I'm holding out hope that we can.
I think we should, right, and could finish in the top 5. With the games that we've got left, right, with the games that we've got left, the fixtures we've got left, right, we've got top teams at home, we've got bottom teams away, right? We finish up with Shrewsbury at home on the last game of the season, right? I actually think with our running, we could, if these players want it badly, and want it badly enough, we could finish in the top 5.
Cool.
Let alone the top 10.
I think could is a big fat could, isn't it?
I'm saying we won't. Right? Because I don't think we're brave enough.
No.
I get what you're saying. If you wanted to put pedal to the metal and proper go at teams, it is theoretically, mathematically, it's still possible. But you've got to, like you just said, Warren, you've got to want it. You've really got to, from now to the end, you've got to go and really want it.
Yeah, you got to win every game.
Yeah.
Or you got to go and win every game. It's no good going away. You got Crewe and Chesterfield away and saying, well, we'll aim for 4 points. No, why not aim for 6?
Yeah.
Go for it. We're not going to get relegated if we go for it.
Yeah. Right. Well, we will cut it there, boys. And I fully appreciate what both of you have said. I fully appreciate you coming on. I really hope that Stephen's wife is okay. Yeah. So I actually quite enjoyed it for us tonight.
Best wishes.
It was quite good. So if you haven't, then join us at Facebook at The View from Medway. Follow us on The View from Medway Fancast, on X at TVFTM, or YouTube, The View from Medway Fancast. Before we go, any lasting thoughts that don't last any longer than 30 seconds?
No.
I think we ranted off enough tonight.
Yeah. All right, guys. So thank you for watching. We will be back on Wednesday. It will be myself, Mitchell, Mike Gammon, and possibly someone else. But if not, it will just be the 3 of us. So I've been Chris. He's been Warren. He's been Brad. Thank you very much. Good night, and up Jules.